Good afternoon. My name is Mitchell, and I'm here to explain some details as they pertain to fire prevention. I'm going to cover a range of topics with the hopes that you walk away from this with a better understanding of ways in which fire prevention is important. Please note that there is a large amount of information out there in reference to this subject, and I will only be highlighting some main topics today to broaden your knowledge on this topic. Please bear with me as I cover this material. I would like to start with there's a concept of the three E's. These concepts are education, enforcement, and engineering. The reasoning behind the use of these concepts is to aid in the prevention of fires, injuries, and loss of property that is associated with fires. Education concept comes into play as a way in which the community can be taught the importance of fire prevention. It also raises the awareness of the hazards associated with fire incidences in order to change the attitude of society to increase their proactiveness towards taking preventative steps. When it comes to enforcement, this is how those in authority are able to hold accountable businesses and individuals involved in fire safety. These can be in the form of code enforcement, inspection of such items as drawings and plans to the regular inspection of businesses already in place. The purpose of enforcement is to compel compliance with the standard and code requirements in order to ensure the prevention and control of fire-related hazards. The last, yet not the least on the list, is engineering. This is the concept where physical science is used to find solutions that reduce the impact of or can eliminate any risk of fire and fire-related issues. By combining these three concepts, a department is capable of greatly reducing the risk of fire incidences throughout the community. Code enforcement is done differently depending on your location and how the local governments have set it up. Here in Pasadena, Texas, we have fire marshals that come out and make annual inspections to ensure there is no code violations. These inspections are not notified in advance or not done in person. The last inspection I was personally involved in, the fire marshal came in, introduced himself, and showed identification and explained why he was here. I escorted him throughout the facility and answered any questions he had. The whole inspection did not take more than 30 minutes, and I was emailed with the results before he left the parking lot. The inspection was not stressful and was helpful in making a correction I wasn't aware of, and which I was able to fix immediately. These same fire marshals work with local engineering and building firms to ensure that they are following the applicable standards and codes. They also inspect not only businesses that are already in place, but also upcoming and current construction projects to prevent a code issue from becoming reality. The Code Compliance Division is broken into areas across the city of Pasadena to make sure that each area population has the correct amount of coverage. They have the ability to write citations and can even shut down the project or business if the citation warrants it. They are supported by law enforcement, and some even carry sidearms and are certified law enforcement themselves. The local building inspector, along with the fire department here, are part of the local organizations that work in determining fire resistance of building materials. The local fire department, Pasadena Fire Department, has a prevention division which works in tandem with the local city inspectors to ensure that builders are using the proper materials. Builders are explaining the requirements for obtaining permits to start work. Inspectors follow the American Society of Testing Materials guidelines for determination of fire ratings. These ratings are verified through putting in light materials, through mock-up tests that subject the structural components of the heated environment for a desired duration. These tests are recorded and documented for record-keeping purposes and later use. And a copy of these tests can be obtained from manufacturers to ensure compliance with the ASTM's guidelines. Fire tests and fire ratings apply to inspections as they give a basis to know the limitations of the building materials in the event of a fire. Without the knowledge of what the materials can handle, there is no way to ensure the safety of those who occupy these spaces, whether it be a commercial building, private residence, or even the living community, such as an apartment building or nursing home. The protection of life and property is why the tests and rating are so important. Without this available, materials could be used that would engulf into flames at a rate that would make escape by the occupants impossible. This would also lead to deaths and injuries that otherwise could have been prevented. Inspection and code enforcement for upcoming projects to current inhabited establishments and homes made the difference between life and death. Some current businesses owners are not aware of the requirements, and these inspections are a way to ensure the owner knows the best way to protect themselves and the property.